So we're so excited to be here Facebook Live and give our weekly update and just kind of get some information out about the upcoming week and then weeks ahead, and and also just to kind of transition into different components about where our where all of our sites are at and what they're doing in athletics and extracurricular activities, and just try to give you a rundown and try to keep everybody tuned and apprised of what's going on. And we want to thank Craig at the Hebron Ledger for always being able to help us do this and to get things out there to our community, our patrons and parents, and it's just a good thing to do. And so of course this is a busy time of year whenever you're looking at October. Not only is it a busy time in your with all your extracurricular activities that are taking place, then you kind of compound it with the COVID-19 protocols and things like that. But it's also it's report time in schools. Schools have a couple of times each year that they rely heavily and have to do diligently seek out reports, and October's one of the months, and then seems like late May and June is the other time period, when you're really hooked up there trying to get a lot of these reports. Of course, there's a lot of them mingled in throughout the school year as well. But anyway, so I'll tell you all that, that's where our upper elementary, those individuals are not going to be here right now. In our high school, they're trying to see it over, but it's just the reporting time. And so anyway, but we've got a lot of information. I'm going to start off here today and introduce the guest. We have Miss Cox with she's our lower elementary principal, and then I have Hebron ADs and our athletic director and Lady Wolves basketball coach Jim Rowe with us today. And so Diane, tell us what's going on over at that lower elementary.
Well, things are just moving right along, Mr. Wilson. Like you said, it's a beautiful day, so the kids got to go out and enjoy that sunshine after they had lunch. Some of the things that I'd like to let the parents know about is we do not have school tomorrow, and that's for our virtual students as well. So they don't need to Google Meet or log on tomorrow if they don't want to. They can still do any of those internet programs that we have. But tomorrow, we do not have school for them. And then next Thursday, Friday, we do not have school for any of our students. So the next Thursday, Friday is our fall break. So,
and let's just clarify, that's not related to any coronavirus, COVID-19. No. That's already scheduled on the calendar. Tomorrow is a professional development day. The kids, no kids will, there's no assignments, no classwork being taken tomorrow because of the, the professional development, but the teachers and staff will be here. And then you fast forward to the next week, and I believe that's October 15 and 16. That's fall break.
Yes.
And so fall break is, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that, okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And then while I'm kind of on talking about the virtual students as well, parents, if your child is doing learning by being virtual, it's really important that they have a quiet spot to Google Meet into that classroom, because anything extra that's going on that screen is distracting for the kids that's in the regular classroom. And so when your child Google Meets with their teacher and the class, they need to sit up to the computer as if they're in that classroom, so that that is the learning way, the style and everything, and we need to practice that at home as well as in the classroom.
Absolutely, because it is an extension of the classroom. When you
Yes.
go to virtual and you're going to remote in and Google in and Zoom in or whatever the program is that we're using, that computer, wherever it is sitting at, has just become an extension of that classroom, and all the etiquette and all the behavior that takes place in a classroom is also taking place
Yes.
wherever that computer's at.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And the background noise is picked up. Anything that is said at home from those computers or done there can be seen and heard
Oh, that's right.
in the classroom. So we want to caution you about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, our virtual students need to come to school on October the 22nd. And that is for us to get their picture made to go in our yearbook.
Yes, picture day.
Yes, you need, whether you're in pre-K, kindergarten, or over in the main elementary building, you will come to the main elementary building. And we ask that you come around 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure you wear your mask into the building, and we'll get you down there where they are taking pictures. And this is picture retape day, so there's not a whole lot of pictures being done, just a few that have to be retaken. And for any students that weren't here on our original picture day. So bring your kiddos if they are virtual or if they even miss school. We'll get them in there on that day to get their picture made. Come about 9:30, and that way the traffic in the parking lot has gotten taken care of, and we're good to go. And then my last thing, Mr. Wilson, is I just want to remind the parents that the flu shot clinic is going to be at our school on October the 23rd. And they do have to have that paperwork turned in that Nurse Jamie will be given to them. And we're going to send that home on the 20th, and they can bring it back and get their flu shots.
And a virtual student can also show up.
Yes,
You see what I'm
please.
saying? So if you're out there, it's because you're a virtual student, you still could get the flu shot. You still come and get your picture taken, you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
just, you're just an extension of our school setting on the virtual side of it. So we want you to come up and get your picture for the yearbook, you know what I'm saying, and get your picture taken. And listen, if there's an extracurricular activity, you need to get up there and get involved in it, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be sitting at the house, all the time, get involved, come do some of those extracurricular activities that you might want to be part of. And then the other thing, your library, we've already opened up the library. We have virtual, students can come show up to get a library book in the elementary on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so we want
And
to
we
make sure.
do. We have parents that have been bringing their kids up
Absolutely.
and doing that, so that's really good. Hey, what we can do on those flu shots for our virtual students, Mr. Wilson, is we can put the form in their packet.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, when they pick their packet up, the week before, they'll already have that form and they can fill it out, and that way it'll remind them that we're doing it. So
And
we
you
can,
think we could get Aaron to put it on the website for those that might have a printer at home, and they could also
Yes.
get and download it? So
yes,
you can get it in a packet, or you can get it,
Yes.
we'll have a link for that flu shot permission slip, and and then fill that dude out. Get up here and get your flu shot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just another safeguard. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's another precaution for something coming up being thrown at us in the
exactly,
in the
yes.
wintertime, which we deal with flu anyway. So great information. Yes, ma'am. Is that it?
That's all for me.
All right, Coach Roll.
Well, we don't have I can't say we don't have a whole bunch going on. Friday night we'll have our football game. We're going to Keys, and Mr. Wilson will elaborate here in a little bit on some of their protocol for coming to the game. Junior high football, high school football, we're about a little more than halfway there. Junior high football, I think we have 2 or 3 games, and that's almost done. Our cross-country team today, high school and junior high, they are going to Greenwood. I believe it starts at 3 o'clock. And I believe our junior high cross-country team is qualified for state tournament,
Yes.
and which is outstanding. And we think we have a real good chance. I mean, I don't want to jinx them,
Oh yeah.
to go up there and maybe bring home that cross-country gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're wishing them the best of luck. Other than that, we've been
Was that today? Can I ask? Was that today?
What's that?
That's cross country meet.
Greenwood, yes.
Yeah, it starts out. I think I just seen them.
Yep, they're on the way to Greenwood. Even though Greenwood's out of school,
I
You know,
was
for the last
wondering
couple of
about
days.
that, yeah.
mainly because the situation, we ran into 2 or 3 weeks ago that had so many teachers that were quarantined, they couldn't find enough subs. So
Yeah.
it's just not a Heber thing, it's a bi-state thing. So it's
Yeah.
happening everywhere.
It's a worldwide.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, we've been talking about, with football almost halfway gone, junior high, we'll be starting basketball here. And for elementary, we'll have our first game at the end of this month. Junior high shortly behind it, and then high school, of course, will start in about the middle of November. Now, with that said, we have been going over some protocols, and we don't have them set in stone yet as what we're going to do and all that stuff. football and cross country, of course, is outside, so it's not nearly as much as a problem as when you start packing the gym in with our, our fans and supporters and stuff like that. So as we get it, we'll keep you informed. Now, with that said, for those who have bought their gold membership, it's still going on, and we got our gold card today. We try to get them gold plated, but we just didn't have the money to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Get your gold card.
get your gold card. Now this gold card, like I say, we started this as a fundraiser, and because we've had some support, which we knew we would like to give back to our supporters, and we'll add more things as the season goes along. With basketball, like I say, this guarantees you and your immediate family immediate entry into any sporting event that we hold that's not run by the OSSA or something like that. So with basketball season coming on, if you'll get a hold of me and you want to join, now you'll be able to call me and I can reserve you some seats. We probably do know this, that when basketball starts, we probably will have some type of limitation on how many people can get in the gym. Now, with this, you're getting in.
You're in.
You're in. So that's just something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, the membership, of course, is $120, and it's
It's a good perk, isn't it?
It's a great perk. It's for you and your immediate family. And so if you're interested, just give me a call. And I guess other than that, like I say, Mr. Wilson's going to visit with you on the protocol Keys superintendent and school sent us when we go up there this Friday night for some football. Okay, Mr. Wilson?
You bet. Well, thank you, Coach
Yep.
Rowland. So, well, hey, that's a good place for us just to jump right in there and start. Coach has talked to you. We've thrown the academic side out there, early on when school started, and then we kind of went on the back burner a little bit about trying. Well, we knew that our current activity, extracurricular activities, they're outside, which you can social distance a little more outside. With the the football and the softball and then the cross country that was taking place. And so those are all great activities, extracurricular activities. Our band, is coming together. They were able to, do a little bit of outside, but a lot of places aren't, they're not doing the band meets. And so, and then, other districts are like, we're going to let our band play, but we're not going to. Well, so, it's kind of up to each individual district at that point. And so, thusly, we come up to where we're going to be tomorrow night when we go to Keys. And in Keys, they have their own set of protocol, just like Heavener had their, we have our protocol, Well, Keys protocol is that, and I'm going to read these verbatim. We have them listed on our Heavener Public Schools Facebook page. And so, it talks about, what they are going to allow. And it just says all individuals entering Jerry Hood Field must wear a facial covering upon admittance, okay? Some kind of mask or one of those pull-up, what's that thing called? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, just some kind of facial covering, all right?
I forgot what it's called now.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
that scarf looking thing
Yeah.
or whatever. But anyway, it says we encourage spectators to bring lawn chairs for socially distanced seating. They are just like at our place. We've allowed lawn chairs, around the track area, places like that where you can social distance, all right? Fans seated in the bleacher areas will be expected to wear their facial coverings when social distancing is not able to be achieved outside of their own family group. So that means if it's like really, really mega crowded up there and your family group has to sit next to another family group, then facial coverings are expected to be worn. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to enforce these things, okay? And so even though it's outside, it's this is what their protocol is, and this is what they want, okay? They're trying, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why they're going. You may think that it's overreach, or you may think that it's a little bit too in depth. But I'm going to tell you, Cherokee County up there is a county that's been pretty hard hit. Even our county's been pretty hard hit in times past, but theirs is continues to be hit pretty hard. So anyway, the concession stand is going to be open, but facial coverings must be worn while waiting in line. Concessions will be limited to prepackaged candy, popcorn, and drinks. It says they have a grill area, but this is not going to be open unless between now and tomorrow the Cherokee County drops to yellow or green, and that's probably not going to happen. Okay. And also, this is one that's pretty interesting right here, and this is their last guideline. Keys Public Schools is a strong advocate of sportsmanship, but all non-necessary physical interaction between teams will be eliminated. There will not be handshaking post-game. Keys Public Schools will allow the visiting team to leave the field first, and we ask that fans from both teams exit the stadium at the completion of the contest. All right, so that doesn't mean we're going to loiter around, okay? Game over, it's time to hit the road, all right? Game over, exit the stadium, okay? They don't want that interaction. They don't want, you know what I'm saying? And it just makes good common sense, you know what I'm saying? They don't want a bunch of interaction. They don't want a bunch of people up there, you know, cross-contaminating potentially. You know, those are all potential hazards. So they're ready for us to, you know. So when that game's over, we're going to do a wrap-up, you know. We're going to be with Craig here with the Hebron Ledger, and we're trying to get to where we can stream that game because we know that's a long ways away, and so we're going to try to stream that game for our fans that may not can make it, okay? And but once that thing's over, we're going to do a wrap up and we're out. We're OUT, we're out, okay? Because that's what they want. That's their protocol, and we think that, you know, we're going to honor that. We're going to be a gracious visitor when we go there, and so. But anyway, we wanted to make sure that everybody understands that because, you know, we're going to do our due diligence to get the word out because that's what they've asked. And to be quite honest, when we've sent our protocol out to other school districts, you know, we've expected them and asked them in our conference to do the same thing, get the word out, and they've been very good about that. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more, or that's about the football game for tomorrow night, and then we don't know about the following week. Following week is going to be at Spyro, and if we get any word, if they've got any special protocols that they want us to adhere to, we'll do the same. We'll get it out. The only difference is that game will be on a Thursday night.
Right.
And so, you know, we may try to get it out just as quickly as we can as we find out about it, but, you know, as far as via a Facebook Live, you know, our traditional day seems to be on Thursdays. And so, you know, with that game being Thursday, you know, we'll try to get it out. And Craig, with the Ledger, was very good about getting it out in the paper today, too, the printed paper. So we're appreciative of that. Coach Roll has talked about the Gold Card membership, seeking 100 members. Come on. You know, now's the time. Get in it. Get in it. What are you up to? About 23 now on there? You know, up to 23. It keeps growing. So, you know, and every little bit helps. It helps the athletic department, you know. It helps them all the way from fourth grade all the way through 12th grade. So, you know, let's get stronger. Let's keep moving that stronger. Ms. Cox kind of alluded to a little bit about the fall break. It's October 15th and 16th, and then the following Monday on the 19th. Now, you know, here's what I want to talk to you a little bit about fall break. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we want you to be safe, all right? We want you to be safe. Listen to what we're saying. We want you to be safe, okay? Fall break, all right? You know, be conscientious about where you go, what you do, things like that over that, you know, because one of the things that, you know, that the health department and places like CDC, you know, they tell us that, you know, once you've kind of got a routine going, we're talking about schools, once you've got a routine going and then all of a sudden you take a little break or you take a little hiatus or something like that, then you have to be extra diligent and extra careful when you come back because people have dispersed. They went to the four corners of the earth, possibly, we don't know, and then they come back and then, you know, so what we're saying is, you know, while you're out and about, please be careful, all right? And then please take those extra precautions because we don't want to come back on Tuesday the 20th and, you know, and then try to pick back up and then maybe, you know, get back to a time to where, you know, we're getting sick again, okay? So anyway, and then looking ahead, I believe on October the 21st, that was a day that was originally when we were going to be out because it was going to be virtual / remote learning. However, we are going to be in school that day, okay? good Lord willing, we're gonna be in school October the 20th, correct? Or 21st, excuse me, October the 21st, right? Along with the 20th and the 23rd, you know what I'm saying? We won't, but it's just particular on the calendar that one day was going to be a virtual remote learning day, but it's no longer. That 21st is going to be a day that we're going to be in session on campus, okay? All right, now, are we going all right?
Doing
We're
great.
on time, Craig, we good? Okay. All right, now looking ahead now, we're talking about, getting ready to transition. We've had our outside activities, softball, cross country, football. Now we're starting to transition back into basketball season, and everybody likes a great basketball game, all right? Difference is it's going to be indoors, all right, indoors. And so, we're a part of a conference. We're a part of our high school and junior high as part of the Black Diamond Conference. Black Diamond Conference, those member schools are going to get together, and there are going to be some protocols that's going to be discussed where there's consistency. Where if you are at Heavener and then you're going to one of the member schools such as Hartshorn, okay, well, what we do at Heavener, we can expect is what's going to be very similar to at Hartshorn or Tallahena or one of those places. Now those aren't set in stone yet, so, there's going to be a lot of dialogue and trying to figure out what's best. But when we look at that, all those things are because we have the COVID-19, okay? And you know this, this is nothing new, all right? We're not in a normal state yet, okay? We're not in a normal setting yet, It's as normal as we can get it, okay? But, until we get the all clear from, the CDC or somebody like that, we're going to have to take these precautions. That's where we're at right now. And so with that being said, those different types of protocols that we're going to be looking at, are going to be, set up. Now, I will tell you this, our gymnasium, okay, our gymnasium is actually set up really well for this because somebody, years and years ago, they put exhaust fans in that thing, which moves air. That is a big CDC, help me out here. Guideline,
Yeah.
recommendation, thank you, yes. Recommendation, that's a big CDC recommendation, is to move air. You got your buses, your buses are traveling, roll the windows down, move air, okay? Well, that gymnasium's had it, all right, they have it. And then not too many, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, we actually implemented air conditioning systems in there as well. That's another way to move air, okay? So what we're going to tell you is that, basketball is a fall/winter sport, all right? You better bring a jacket if you come, though, or a sweater. Because I'm just going to tell you, we're going to have those exhaust fans on, and we're going to have that air on, the air conditioning on it. And Coach Rowland and I kind of kidded about it a little bit earlier today. Mm-hmm. It may be a little chilly in there, okay? But it's going to be chilly because we're going to move air. And we're going to move air because we want to be, if that's a guideline and if that's a recommendation that's going to keep us safe, help us to stay safe, well, guess what? We're going to do it, okay? And so, it may be one of these things that, you may get a little chilly up there. Well, bring you a sweatshirt, bring you a sweater, bring you a light jacket, I don't want to go out on a limb and say, it may be snowing 5 inches, we're going to have the air conditioner on or something, but, we're liable to have the doors on and the exhaust fans running, you know what I'm saying? But if that's what it takes for us to be safe, then guess what? That's what we're going to do, you know what I'm saying? We're going to look at the concession procedures, how are we going to handle, concession stand, we're trying to be, very cautious about that because you don't want, cross-contamination or anything like that. But I tell you that though, because here's what's coming up, you live in LeFlore County, you got to know something about the junior high and high school LeFlore County basketball tournament, okay? Well, the junior high dialogued on the county tournament, and those tournaments don't take place till January. But as a foresight, the schools in the county that participate in those two tournaments are already starting to have that dialogue and already starting to have that those conversations about, how's that going to look? What are we going to do? Because we all share the same thing, the same goal. We all want to be safe during this thing, okay? And so how do we do that? And we already know traditionally, if you didn't have COVID-19, you're gonna have a spike in flu, after the county tournament. So now you've got flu, and now you've got COVID-19. So what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Well, those host schools are already starting that dialogue, okay? And those host schools, they'll be coming up with, and they'll be asking, for recommendations. And so, that's why, and it's going to be fluid. There's things that's going to happen. There's things that's going to change. We may say, hey, we want to look at this, capacity, occupancy, that type of thing. And then we may have to readjust, you know what I mean? You may have to, those things are just going to be fluid, all right? Which is how it's been ever since we got back into school. It's ever changing, it's fluid. And so, but, just know that those guidelines are in place because we're trying to, not only keep our community safe and our students safe, and our teachers and staff and, administration safe, but, we're just trying to do what's safely for all of our kiddos and stuff. So anyway, so with that being said, then, and then you look at, locally, where we're at, in our school setting in relation to, they're already, the flu shot, we just talked about the flu clinic, is coming up, we want to encourage, participation in that, get your flu shot, if that's something that you feel, that you can do, then take it because it's just going to help, help you stay healthy and stuff. And so when we look at that, and I don't know, I haven't, the nurse hasn't spoken to me, seen too many cases yet of any flu, but I think they're just trying to get ahead of it, the COVID-19, there is still some cases that pop up every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? I will say it seems like our community and in our school setting, knock on wood on that deal, okay? But it seems like that it is, it's holding, you know what I'm saying? And if anything, it's just a little bit of a dip downward. And so that's a good thing. I'll knock again, all right? Because, but it seems like, some other areas, they kind of bounce and spike up and down. But we've been pretty fortunate. Now, that doesn't mean that it, it's not going to happen, you know what I'm saying? Fluid, we're talking about being flexible because we don't actually know, you know what I'm saying, and how it's going to transpire, especially after fall break in a couple of weeks here. So anyway, but when we talk about it though, at our school setting, we're going to do everything that we can, we've still got our, we're disinfecting, the hallways, the classrooms, you know what I'm saying, and then we're taking those necessary protocols constantly. Having to remind, make daily reminders about masks, social distancing and things like that. And parents, let me tell you, I had a parent that one of their little ones, forgot their mask the other day. Immediately, man, that parent brought that mask up when they realized it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we had we already, there was a smaller mask. You know what I'm saying? A disposable mask. Excuse me. That parent says they realized it, man, they hightailed it back. Thank you for that, okay? Let me tell you, thank you for that, because that means that we have people that care and that they're out there, and as soon as, it was purely accidental, but what did they do? They took that time to circle back around, get that mask, in our hands, and get it to that child, you know what I'm saying, as a precaution, you know what I'm saying, as a safeguard, Well, we're doing that. So, if you're at home, and a child forgets a mask, well, hey, we've got some disposable masks, you know what I mean? We don't have enough to give you one every day, but we got enough to get you one, But you got to stay on top, you got to stay on top of those temperature checks, you know what I'm saying? Fill that sheet out, because I'm going to tell you, if the health department gets involved, they're going to ask for that sheet, all right? They're going to ask for that sheet. They're going to ask for your temperature. They're going to see if you've been around, if you've answered it, have you been around anybody? All those questions. Fill that sheet out. If you need more copies, I believe we have it online, is that right? Where you can print it off, And so anyway, those are the things. But let me tell you, we've come such a long ways because of being diligent. We've came such a long ways as a school district because our parents, our community, and our patron have taken it serious, and they are trying because they don't want to go back, okay, to where we were at, 4 weeks ago, where, we were on a 2-week distance learning model, all right? So that's why, and we got to keep it going. Hand sanitizer, wash your hands, cough into the bend of your elbow, you know what I'm saying? You got fever, don't come. Call the office and tell them, my student has exhibiting some fever. okay, we don't want you here, you know, that, because, you know, you potentially, you know, if you've got fever, if you've got, you know, allergies, you know, fever, if it's fever, it's fever. That's why the 3-day fever deal is in place, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you get tested and you're waiting on results, do not come, okay, until you get those results. And if those results are negative, you notify the nurse, she's our point of contact, and then the health department, they'll let you know if you can come back. If you're positive, guess what? They'll notify you and tell you how long you're going to be out. Those are all things that we do to stay safe. Those are all things that we've got in place. We work hand in hand. And I can't sing the praises of our school nurse. She's our point of contact. I can't sing her praises enough about staying in constant contact with that health department. And the health department, big shout out to them, because they have a big, they're very helpful about helping us determine what course of action as not just a Heber school, but any school in the county. All right. And so we're very, you know, I'll just tell you, you know, we're very fortunate to have those in place. And so, you know, kind of wrapping it up, you know, just to let everybody know, you know, we just got to keep up the good fight. You just got to keep it up. You got to keep it up, you know what I mean, on a daily basis, you know. You got to keep it up. You know, you got to keep it up so you can support your school, so you can support your kids, your grandkids, you know what I'm saying, your nieces, your nephews, and that type of thing. But you're keeping it up because you're going to try to keep up their health and keep them safe, all right? Greg, do we have any questions or anything?
No questions.
No questions, all right.
Mr. Wilson, I
Yes,
did
ma'am.
think of something on my October calendar that I sent home with the lower grade.
Yes, ma'am.
It did say that we were having the dental clinic on October the 22nd, but they have rescheduled with us, and so they will not be here October the 22nd. It'll be in November, and I'll get that information out on my November calendar when I send it.
Right on, all right, all right. Well, Coach, how about you? Did you,
Well, you know,
anything come to you?
well, we're gonna have some scrimmages coming up, and we'll probably have, we'll have protocols for that.
Right.
You know, and we'll start that. I think our first scrimmage is the 21st or 22nd, I believe, of this month against Muldrow. Well, we're going there, so we'll be okay. Also, I don't know if everybody's seen our new Wi-Fi access signs.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're working this. Yeah. These signs right here are indicators that, you know, like at this building and sites across town. And then we're still waiting to get our remote Wi-Fi access out to several of the churches that have come on board. They've said, yes, we could use their parking lots, but we're going to also ask them if we can stick a sign out there that just says, you know, Wolves Wi-Fi access area. And but we're still waiting on a few parts for those what are those things called, hotspots, those big mega hotspots to be placed in these churches. We're waiting for a few of those. There were still some parts. And of course, you can imagine, you know, everybody in the country, literally everybody in the country of the United States is you know, doing remote learning and distance learning and virtual learning. And so those parts become scarce, you know what I'm saying? And those mega hotspots, they become scarce. But anyway, yeah, we've got these right here, and so those are pretty cool, and so we're ready to kind of get those out, and we can't wait. And so, what was you talking about there, Coach? A little bit though about you did say that we had the scrimmages coming up.
Yeah, we have some scrimmages coming up. I believe our first one is, I mean, we're going to Muldrow, but I think we have three coming up
Right.
here in the next, well, matter of fact, our first one, well, it'll be 10/27.
Be a good test run on it.
It'll be against the Rolling Lady Rangers, who will probably be number 2 or 3 in the state of Oklahoma.
Right, yeah.
So it's about here.
Yeah. And then, you know, one thing that I was, you know, and just to kind of, you know, do a little bit of closing with, you know, we offer virtual learning, you know, and you know, if you haven't taken the time to read the audit report on Epic, please do. I think that'll be a little bit enlightening to you, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I say that is simply because, you know, we offer virtual learning, and we think we do a really good job of it, and we think that we do it the right way. But, you know, if you'll just Google Epic Audit, you know, there's links out there on, you know, websites and school websites and whatnot. You know, not pointing any fingers, but I just believe it'd be very beneficial to read at this point in time. Especially when it comes to, you know, the state of Oklahoma. So anyway, Craig, is there anything,
No.
anything at all? All
No.
right, and we're gonna try, Craig will notify you, he'll put the word out, if we're gonna be able to broadcast that game, won't you? You know,
Yeah.
tomorrow and stuff,
Yes.
so. And hey, listen, we're looking forward to that. That's gonna be kind of fun. I mean, that's gonna be a neat deal, you know, to broadcast that game, live streaming. I don't know, I'm pretty excited about it, so, anyway.
Well, you know, he broadcasted the homecoming
Yep.
for us in lower elementary, so we were all able to watch it even though, you know, the space didn't allow us to go out there. So that was really good. We enjoyed getting to do that in the classrooms.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get some school spirit though in
Yeah.
those classrooms, cause I thought maybe I could hear some noise, you know, and it was just as quiet as if we were studying, and we want that school spirit brought back.
Yeah. And so what happened was when we had the assembly for the high school out there, Craig and the Ledger, they actually went Facebook Live, and then our teachers that were in the lower elementary, they were able to actually watch that on their computers with their kiddos and kind of, so they were able to still participate because typically we'll pack a gym, but with
Exactly.
COVID-19 we can't
Yeah.
right now. So anyway, and we're very appreciative of that. And we're thankful that we have Craig is willing to do that for us there at the Ledger. So anyway, great partner with us. So
Yes.
is there anything else, guys? Anything else? All right, Wolf Nation, thank you for all you do. We appreciate y'all.